Hello, Jen. It's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me in your evening, and it's morning for me. We will explain that later. I would love you to tell us all about yourself and how you sort of came to be part of Garland and the tutor team, and how you joined Garland, and those sort of steps that brought you to us, which we feel so incredibly lucky that you are with us. So I wonder if you could just inform us of that, please.
Um, don't ask me for dates because I can't think now. Um, but I first came across Garland because I was looking for some answers for my pointer, who at the time I just didn't feel that his movement flowed like it should do. I'd grown up riding with horses and eventing, not at a high level at all, but just pony club. But we'd always had people, physios, back specialists, but any riding and teacher since we were sort of 5, 6 years old told you to look at how your horse's gait was, look at their gait pattern, look at their movement.
Mm.
And there was just something about Stormy that just didn't flow. But I really struggled to get any answers because everyone said, the vets said, oh, he's not lame, he's not in any pain, there's nothing wrong with him.
Mm.
And I just wasn't convinced that there wasn't something wrong with him, because although I wasn't looking for something to be physically wrong, because like I said, there was no pain indications, no overt thing, he just didn't have the flow of movement that he should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I I kind of looked around and I found out about a few different courses. I did a course, a McTimoney course to treat your own dog. And that's when I first realized that actually he had quite a few tight spots. But I wanted to know, well, why does he have the tight spots? Because yes, now I can release those tight spots, but I still want to know why he's got those tight spots. And so I started looking a bit more into canine massage, and I came across Garland, and the first thing that really stood out to me was the choice-led treatment, because I knew, from my background with horses and with dogs, that or anything where you are going to restrain an animal, it's not going to be relaxed.
Mm.
And so to me, that was a huge sort of positive of wanting to find out more about it. And then I was lucky enough to have a chat with someone that I used to race with Kushla, and I had no idea that this is what she did. And she said, "Come along and see us at Crufts and see what we're doing." And yeah, it just went from there. Really, I decided that I really want to do this. I want to retrain, because at the time I was teaching mainstream primary school, and yeah. That was how I started my Garland journey.
Fantastic. But you've got quite a rich sporting career too. Your you mentioned just in passing your equine side of things, and then you just flipped over the fact that you did a bit of running.
Well, I'm not very good at sitting still. Yeah, I started riding when I think I was 6 when I got my first pony, and I love cross country. I love pony clubbing. I was really lucky. Dartmoor Pony Club. We had awesome places to ride.
Mm.
Very quickly got involved with doing tetrathlon and triathlon. So which was running, riding, shooting, and swimming when I was with horses. Later in life, that took me to long distance triathlon of the conventional swim, bike, run. So yeah, I've done a couple of Ironmans, and I just like a long day out playing, really. So it's
I love the horse,
even
but the rest, the running and the swimming, no, not for me at all.
but yeah, and even better if I can do it with my dog, which is when I was actually coming back from an injury from an Ironman race that I discovered canicross and running with your dogs, which was perfect because at the time I had Springer Spaniels and I was struggling getting in training and feeling that I was letting them down a little bit, and they would come out running with me. But if anybody knows Springers, they don't really run in one direction. They would disappear off in the woods in one direction, while I was off on the trail in the other direction, and they'd come back with a rabbit or something halfway through the run.
Yeah.
So the idea of running with them attached to me and being able to go places that you couldn't go with them off lead was a win-win for me.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
yeah.
But you also volunteered for the RNLI too, which that, as I was saying to you earlier, is like I, fully respectful, total respect. But it would be the last thing I would do because it would mean being on the water in bad conditions.
Wow. Being on the water is one of my happy places. Being at sea when you can't see land is one of
Oh,
my best place to be. If I'm not in the mountains, I love the mountains, but if I'm not in the mountains, being at sea, there's just something so powerful about feeling actually very small, and
mm,
it can
that's
be really
true.
quiet
That
or
is
it can be
true.
really rough.
True.
And yeah, when I had the opportunity, I moved to Salcombe in Devon, and I had the opportunity to join the Salcombe lifeboat crew. And it was awesome. It was that chance to give back. If you sail and I used to race offshore, we used to race down to France and down to Spain quite a bit. You're always aware that things go wrong. And I've had plenty of friends that have lost boats. They've hit a container under the water, or the keel's fallen off, or they've been demasted. There's, things go wrong when you're racing. That it might be you next time that has to call
Yeah.
for help. And so the opportunity to be part of that crew and be part of that lifeboat family was brilliant, and I loved every minute of it. I miss it. I miss the whole it's an amazing organization to be part of.
It is
Everybody
an amazing organization. From the outside looking in, it's an amazing organization. So we've only just touched on you then becoming a tutor. I mean, we could talk for a long time, I know. How long have you been a tutor? It's a bit scary how quickly time goes.
um I don't know. I mean, I became a tutor, I suppose, fairly soon after I qualified because um Galen decided to have the role of a case study support tutor, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I
Yeah.
somewhat nervously put my hand up and said, well, I've been teaching for, at the time, 20 years, maybe. So yeah, it must have been about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you've had
and
quite a few treatments under your belt already, obviously, but
yeah, but I was newly qualified in the sense that it was still very fresh in my mind of thinking, I'd love to be able to support people through that progress.
mm,
And having had, like I say, that teacher background in it, as I was senior leadership in the schools I was in and supporting staff training, I thought, well, I know I've got those skills. If I could
mm,
compare that with that ability to really sort of be there and help people with something that was fresh in my mind that I'd just done.
true, true,
And
absolutely.
that feeling, I think, for me, of sheer terror, really, I suppose, when you're retraining
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
realize, actually, this is quite hard,
It is
you
very
know.
hard. It's very hard, especially if
So
you've reached a level of expertise in a previous career, to suddenly have the courage to change, to follow your passion. And that is, and then case studies are so exciting, but as you say, equally can be terrifying. So to have that support, which we really value at Garland, that you have offered for that was just so fantastic.
it gave me that chance. And I didn't train to be a Galen myotherapist thinking I was going to change career. I did
Mm.
it wanting to support my dog and thinking, well, I know a lot of people that ride Canicross and things as well,
Yeah,
a lot of people that have got working dogs. I could kind of do this to help out people and help my own dogs.
yeah.
And yeah, then it kind of took off. But it was that sort of thing of thinking, yeah, I know what it feels like
Mm.
to
It is
be
so
able to
important.
do
Yeah.
something and think
Mm.
you're reasonably intelligent. I'm a teacher, I teach other people, but Jesus, this does not want to stay in my head when I was learning things. And had posters up of everything, all my anatomy posters and what I've
Mm.
got to remember. And I worked so hard. And because it's distance learning, although you've got people you can ask for support, you feel like you've got to be doing quite a lot on your own. So it can be quite isolating. And I was really lucky
Very
that we
lucky.
had a really nice cohort of students
Yeah.
and we were able to ask each other things. But then I was also aware that when we were doing that, some of us had the same misconceptions.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it can be quite dangerous sometimes because you were
Mm.
thinking, oh, no, I'm sure it was this. And someone else is saying, oh, no, no, it was definitely this.
Yeah.
And
Like
so,
pooling ignorance. Yeah. In the nicest possible way. Mm.
so, so yeah, I thought I might be quite good at that. I'd quite like to be able to support people through that
Absolutely.
process. And I absolutely love it. I love seeing people achieve. I
Yeah.
love being able to support people through those and just be that feeling when people are so close to finishing, but they've actually got
Mm.
these quite big case studies to do.
Yeah.
And just making sure they don't feel that they are out there on their own and there is someone that they can ask if they need help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely, because we are absolutely passionate about supporting our tutors, all our students, sorry, and our tutors. We support you too, I hope. Supporting our students all the way through, because if someone has come on the course, they want to make changes, and it's our role to support people through, and you're very much part of that, as are all our other tutors, and make a phenomenal team. um I did pertain earlier to the fact that you're in a different time zone. You're in a very different, you couldn't be further away, could you? When did you move to New
No,
Zealand?
we moved here, and this is why I was saying I missed the Ireland alike, and we missed it.
Mm,
We moved here 2.5 years ago now, and so
okay.
it was a big change,
Mm.
but a good change.
So you started afresh, and you've built all your infrastructure with no one knowing anything about Garland, how we work, and everything, and you've built a wonderful network, haven't you? And are very, very busy.
Yeah, I've been really. I mean, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of commitment, but I have been really lucky, and I have met some amazing vets to work with, some amazing veterinary nurses, and
Fantastic.
yeah, I just went out there with Garland on my sleeve, as it were, and said, "This is who I
This is
am. This is
you.
what I
Yeah,
do. Can I come in and show you?" And
fantastic.
and then I was really also lucky. We're very lucky that now that we have an amazing, one of my ex-students, if you like, one of our amazing Galen Myotherapist, moved here from Italy, and
Yes,
she's down
Marta. Yep,
down
yep,
south of me. So we're spreading in New
yep.
Zealand. So
Absolutely, that is fantastic. Jen, thank you. We could talk a lot longer, but thank you very much for sharing with us your journey here, and we're delighted to have you on our team, and delighted to have you in New Zealand too, spreading the word and doing some amazing work. Thank you very much.
thank you.